The sky over Earth was calm. People lived happy lives. Cities floated in the sky. Oceans were clean and full of life. For 1,000 years there had been peace. No wars, no fear. Humans and aliens lived under the Virex Accord, a promise of peace signed long ago. But peace does not always last forever. In a quiet control room on Earth's Space Defense Station, Captain Lily Monroe looked at her screen. She was calm, focused. Her job was to watch the edge of space, far away from Earth. Nothing ever happened out there. But today was different. Strange signals came from Sector 9. That area was protected by the old treaty. No ship, human or alien, was allowed to enter without permission. She leaned closer to the screen. A large group of ships was moving fast, too fast. She pressed a button. A red light flashed. General Ethan Ward stood in the Earth Command building. When he saw the red alert, he didn't panic. He had waited for this day. Remembered the old stories from his grandfather. Stories of a time before the Truce. Back then, humans had fought to survive. They were not soft. They were strong. They had never forgotten. "Is it them?" he asked. "Yes, sir," Lily answered. "Unknown ships entering Sector 9. Looks like Virex designs. No response to our calls." The general nodded. "Activate red alert across all systems. Prepare Earth defense." Out in space, near Jupiter, the station Helix 7 floated in silence. It was a research center, full of scientists. They were not soldiers. The Virex ships did not care. Without warning, beams of light shot from the alien ships. Helix 7 exploded in seconds. Back on Earth, news of the attack spread fast. People were shocked, but they were not afraid. President Alina Shah stood in front of the cameras. She looked straight into the lens. "My fellow humans," she said, "the truce is broken. Helix 7 is gone. But we will not run. We will not hide. We are ready." All around the world, people stood still. Some cried, some clenched their fists. Many remembered the stories. They remembered that their peace came from strength, and they were not afraid. In deep mountain bases, doors opened. Lights came on in old bunkers. Great machines woke up after centuries of sleep. Under the oceans, hidden launch pads began to rise. Giant ships, built long ago in secret, began to move. Lily Monroe looked out her window. She saw one of the great ships fly into the sky. Its engines lit the clouds with blue fire. She smiled. "No more waiting," she said. On Mars, soldiers stood ready. On Titan, shields turned on. AI fleets began to scan for threats. Earth defense was awake. The attack on Helix 7 had not caused fear. It had reminded the world who they were. In a small lab in New Chicago, young engineer Noah Price looked at a file he found by mistake. It was old, hidden deep in the system. It spoke of a warning from the past. The Virex had always planned to come back. He whispered to himself, they never wanted peace. They just needed time. Now they were back. But humans were ready. In space, the alien armada moved forward. Their ships were strong and deadly. But Earth was not the same as it was 1,000 years ago. Humans had grown, they had learned, and they had not forgotten how to fight. The silence of peace was gone, but it had been replaced by something greater. Unity, strength, courage. The first battle was coming. And this time, humans were not afraid. Long ago, before the peace, Earth was full of fear. Humans had just started to travel into deep space. They thought they were alone. But one day they met the Virex. At first there was hope, but the Virex were not peaceful. They saw humans as weak and new. They wanted to take Earth and control the stars. The war began quickly. Cities were destroyed. Moons were burned. Millions died. It lasted for many years. Humans fought hard. They were not ready at first, but they learned fast. They built new weapons. They used smart plans, and slowly they pushed the Virex back. In the end, both sides were tired. Both sides lost too much, so they made a truce. A deal. They called it the Virex Accord. It was signed in the orbit of a dead planet. Both humans and Virex promised peace. They marked safe zones. They stopped building weapons in open space, but humans never forgot. They remembered the fear. They remembered the fire. So even during peace, they prepared. In secret labs, in deep bunkers, on lost planets, not for war, but in case war came back. Now the truce was broken. The old fear had returned, but it felt different now. It was smaller. People were stronger, smarter, ready. In a small room under the city of Geneva, young engineer Noah Price looked at the old file again. It was written by a general long dead. The file said that the Virex never truly wanted peace. They signed the truce because they were losing, but they would return. One day, when they thought humans were weak again. Noah showed the file to Director Ellen Brooks, head of Earth Research Command. She read it slowly. "We always knew this day might come," she said. "Yes," Noah replied. "But we hoped it wouldn't." She looked out the window. Above in the sky, defense ships flew like birds. She nodded. "They made a mistake," she said. "They thought we forgot." But we didn't. On the other side of the world, in New Seattle, President Alina Shaw stood with her advisors. They watched old war videos. They studied past battles. They learned what worked and what failed. "This is not the same world," she said. "We do not fight with fear. We fight with focus. We fight for peace." The people believed in her. She had grown up hearing stories from her grandmother, who lived through the last years of the war. She knew what was at stake. In space, more Virex ships appeared. They were testing Earth, sending small attacks, watching, measuring, but Earth was watching too. Commander Ian Blake sat inside the orbital control tower. His eyes were tired, but his voice was sharp. He sent orders to defense satellites. He tracked each enemy ship. "No surprises," he told his team. "We see everything." On the moon, Colonel Ava Briggs trained new pilots. They flew fast ships in tight circles. They ran drills. They learned to fly as one. She walked among them. She gave clear orders. "We are the shield of Earth," she said. "We do not break." People across Earth and its colonies stood together. Farmers sent food to bases. Builders fixed old launch pads. Students learned emergency codes. Children drew pictures of brave soldiers and ships in the sky. Humanity was not afraid. They were focused. On the edge of the solar system, a small human scout ship saw something strange. A large structure. Alien design. It was building more ships. The pilot sent the data back to Earth. Then the signal was lost. Commander Blake saw the report. He didn't flinch. He looked at the map. Then he gave his command. "It begins." The past was no longer just a story. It was here again. But this time humans were not caught by surprise. They remembered. They prepared. And now they would fight for their future. Earth was no longer sleeping. The world moved fast now. Cities glowed at night with lights from new machines. People worked day and night. The time for peace was over. The time to act had come. President Alina Shaw stood in the World Command Center. Her voice was calm but strong. "Begin Project Horizon," she said. For years, Project Horizon had been Earth's hidden shield. A secret plan. Now it would rise. In the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean, a huge metal gate opened. From under the sea, a giant ship lifted into the sky. It was wide like a city and strong like a mountain. People stopped and watched. Some cheered, some cried, but all of them felt proud. High in the mountains of Alaska, old bunkers opened. Inside were rows of powerful vehicles and skycrafts. Soldiers lined up. Pilots checked their controls. Engines began to roar. Colonel Ava Briggs gave the command. "Launch Squad 1, full speed." The sky was soon filled with lines of fast ships flying like arrows across the clouds. On the moon, the lunar base came to life. Lights turned on across its surface. Long railguns pointed to the stars. The base commander, Leon Hart, sent a signal. "Lunar defense ready, waiting for orders." Across the solar system, every colony prepared. On Mars, engineers built new weapons. On Europa, scientists activated old defense systems. On Titan, soldiers trained in low gravity. Commander Ian Blake worked inside orbital control. He looked at the map of Earth's orbit. Red dots marked enemy movement. "Virex ships near Mars," he said. "Incoming towards Saturn base." He sent messages to all command units. They moved fast. They knew what to do. AI drones flew out of Earth's orbit. These were small but smart. They worked in teams like bees. They could scan, report, and even fight if needed. In a large room under Nevada desert, a group of scientists stood around a table. One of them was Carla Lane. She was a tech expert. She showed her team the new code. "This will connect all our systems," she said. "Ships, bases, drones, satellites, everything." "Is it safe?" someone asked. "Safer than being blind," she answered. They uploaded the code. Earth's defense net became one strong web. The Virex attacked again. This time they hit Mars Colony 3. Explosions shook the red soil. People ran for cover, but help came fast. A squad of Earth ships flew in. They dropped shields. They fought back. The enemy lost 3 ships before they ran. Derek Shaw, the pilot who led the group, gave a short message. "Mars holds no retreat." The message was sent to all colonies. It gave hope. In orbit near Saturn, another attack began. A group of alien ships surrounded Titan base. Commander Blake sent a warning. "Shield team, lock targets. Fire when ready." Saturn rings glowed as Earth weapons fired. The alien ships were hit hard. They tried to run, but Earth's new tech was too fast. One by one, they fell. On Earth, people watched the news. They saw their defenders. They saw their strength. Children in schools drew pictures of the great ships. Workers sent supplies. Farmers sent food. Everyone helped. No one waited. Noah Price, the young engineer, worked with Carla in the command lab. He was tired but full of energy. "It's happening," he said. "We're really doing it." Carla nodded. "We're just getting started." The Virex had come back to crush Earth, but they found something else. They found a world that was not weak. People that were not afraid. Earth had changed. The sky was no longer a place of peace. It was now a shield, and the shield was rising. Far beyond Earth, near the cold edge of the solar system, a large Virex ship moved through space. It was a command ship, dark and strong. Inside, Virex leaders watched their screens. They saw human ships coming closer. They laughed. They believed humans were still the same as long ago, but they were wrong. In a fast ship named Silver Wind, pilot Derek Shaw sat with his team. They had a plan. The Virex ship was bigger, but Derek had speed and skill. His co-pilot, Mia Jordan, checked the weapons. "Are we ready?" Derek asked. "Weapons set." "Let's show them what we can do," Mia said. The battle started with flashes of light. The Virex fired first. Their beams cut through space, but Derek moved fast. He twisted his ship between the blasts. Other Earth fighters followed him. Derek flew close to the enemy ship. He aimed for its weak spot. The Virex tried to block him, but he flew under their line. Fired. A bright blue blast hit the ship's core. The enemy ship shook. Flames shot out. Derek pulled away just in time. Virex command ship exploded. The sound of cheering filled the Earth channels. "Target down," Mia said. "We did it." Derek smiled. First one of many. News of the win spread fast. On Earth, people cheered. In the moon base, soldiers raised their flags. In Mars Colony 3, workers took a break to watch the replay. The first human victory had come, and it was only the beginning. President Alina Shaw spoke to the world. "Today we showed that we are ready. Our strength is not in fear, but in unity. This is not just a win, it's a message." Back at the Virex Control Center, leaders were shocked. They did not expect humans to fight so well. They did not expect smart moves or brave pilots. One Virex officer said, "They have changed. This will not be easy." In space, human ships moved in lines. They did not rush. They used tactics. They moved like a single mind. AI systems helped them fly with speed and care. New weapons were also used. Photon nets could trap enemy ships. Dark matter shields blocked the strongest blasts. Each tool was made in secret over many years. Now, they were used in battle. Commander Ian Blake watched every move from Earth's orbit tower. He guided the teams, gave orders with calm and clear words. His voice reached every ship. "Stay sharp. Work together. The win this is one." In the lab, Carla Lane smiled as she watched the systems work. "Our tech is holding strong," she said. "It's more than tech," said Noah Price. "It's heart." Another group of enemy ships tried to attack Earth's outer defense, but they were met with strong fire. Earth's orbital cannons lit the sky. Satellites sent bursts of power that stopped the enemy engines. One by one, The alien ships fell. Even the stars seemed to shine brighter. On Titan, Colonel Ava Briggs gave medals to young soldiers as she looked each one in the eye. You stood tall. You held the line. Never forget this day. The battle was not over. The war was still young. Something had changed. The Virex now knew that humans were not weak. They had power. They had skill. Most of all, they had courage. Children across Earth played with toy ships, acting out the battle. Artists painted scenes of the fight. Musicians wrote songs about the brave pilot who brought down the command ship. The message was clear. Humanity would not kneel. They had waited, they had watched, and now they were ready. In space, Derek looked at the stars. "Let them come," he said. "We're just getting started." Far beyond the moons, in the dark part of the asteroid belt, something strange moved. It was not a Virex ship. It looked different. It was alive, not metal. It floated like a jellyfish, glowing green and blue. Inside, strange beings worked in silence. They were not part of the old war. They were new. They were called the Zarn. The Zarn were not fighters with ships and guns. They used something worse. They used living weapons. They had made a virus. It was not like any human sickness. It was smart. It changed inside the body. It was made only for humans. One of these living ships released a small pod. It flew toward Earth's outer station and hit the wall like a bug. No one noticed. But inside, the virus was already working. Soon, the sickness spread in the station. People felt tired. Then they could not move. Doctors had no answers. The station sent a message to Earth. Carla Lane read the report. She looked at the screen. Her face went cold. "This is not normal," she said. "This is made. This is a weapon." She called President Shaw. The president listened with care. "We need a cure," the president said. "Fast." Carla and her team worked day and night. They wore suits. They used robots. They scanned the virus. It changed every hour. No normal medicine worked. In a hidden lab under the South Pole, Carla found something. An old nanite project made for healing fast wounds. She had an idea. "If we change the code, we can make these nanites fight the virus," she told Noah. "Can they win?" Noah asked. "They have to," she said. At the same time, Captain Lily Monroe got orders to check a strange object. It was a rogue comet. No orbit, no ID, but it had a signal like a whisper. She took her team. They flew close. The comet had a base inside. It was alive, like the thing from the station. She saw the Zarn for the first time. Thin bodies, long arms, no eyes. "Get ready," she said. The fight was short, but hard. The Zarn used strange weapons, things that moved on their own. But Lily's team used smart drones. They fired EMP blasts. They shut down the Zarn lab. They took samples. They sent them to Earth. Carla worked with the new data. Her team changed the nanite code. They tested it. It worked on rats. Then on one sick soldier, the nanites killed the virus. Cheers filled the lab. Carla called the president. "We have the cure." The cure was sent across Earth and the colonies. The virus stopped. The people healed. The threat was gone. But now, the leaders knew something more. The Virex were not alone. They had help. Zarn were hiding in shadows, and they were smart. The World Command Center. President Shaw spoke to her team. "The Zarn are a new enemy. They use fear and sickness. But they did not break us. They made us stronger." General Ethan Ward looked at the map. "We must find every lab, every ship, every base. No more hiding." Earth search teams moved fast. They used the comet data. They found 3 more Zarn sites. Each one was destroyed. In space, Captain Lily stood at her window. She looked at the stars. She thought of the Zarn. She thought of the people who got sick. "They tried to scare us," she said. "They failed." The cure was now part of every station. The nanites were updated and shared. Every soldier had them. Every ship carried the code. Earth had faced a silent attack. Not with bombs, but with something unseen. And Earth had won. The war had more enemies now. But humans were ready. They had learned. They had adapted. Humanity was done waiting. They had defended. They had survived. Now, they were ready to strike back. In the orbit tower, Commander Ian Blake looked at the new maps. Red marks showed Virex and Zarn bases. Yellow marks showed human fleets. Blue marks showed allies. Yes, allies. Some old alien groups, who had stayed silent for years, now wanted to join Earth. They had seen Earth's courage. They had seen Earth win battles. They were ready to help. Ships from the Kellen and Erowin joined Earth's defense. Their designs were strange, but strong. Together, they built a united fleet. General Ethan Ward gave the next order. Begin Operation Turning Tide. The plan was simple. Use captured Virex tech to beat the Virex. Use their own weapons against them. At a research center on Mars, Carla Lane and Noah Price studied the alien codes. They found ways to control Virex shields. They cracked the command signals. Soon, Earth ships could jam enemy comms. They could stop enemy ships in flight. Derek Shaw led the first mission. His target was a Virex base on a moon of Jupiter. The base had a large supply of fuel and weapons. It was guarded by Zarn creatures and Virex drones. His fleet moved fast. Human ships used the jamming tech. Enemy systems failed. Drones spun in the air, confused. Derek gave the signal. Strike now. Lasers cut through the dark sky. Human ships dropped smart bombs. The base shook. One tower fell, then another. In less than 20 minutes, the base was gone. The next target was a shipyard near Saturn's rings. Commander Ava Briggs led that mission. Her team flew under the ring shadows to hide. Then they attacked from below. Virex ships tried to launch, but their engines locked. Earth's jamming tech worked again. The fight was short. Ava's fleet cleared the yard. It was now in human hands. Every win gave Earth more power, more tools, more data. Each battle taught something new. In the lab, Carla found a way to send false signals to Zarn creatures. They followed sound more than light. Her team made a sonic trap. The trap pulled Zarn ships into empty space. There they were picked off one by one. All across the solar system, battles broke out. On Europa, on Ganymede, on small floating stations. Earth was everywhere, and Earth was winning. In the World Command Center, President Alina Shaw stood with her advisors. "We have turned the tide," she said. "Now we take the fight to them." The Virex saw their losses. Their leaders argued. Some wanted to retreat. Others wanted to destroy Earth at all costs. One Virex commander sent a message. "Your strength is clear. Your anger burns. But do not forget, we started this, we will finish it." But Earth did not fear threats. They made their next move. Operation Final Dawn. The target was the Virex homeworld. It was deep in space, hard to reach, full of defenses. But Earth was ready. All fleets gathered. Ships from Earth, Mars, the Moon, and allied species joined. It was the largest human fleet in history. At the edge of the system, the ship stopped. Derek looked out from the window of Silver Wind. "We've come far," he said. "No turning back." Commander Blake gave the final order. "All units, move forward." Lights flashed. Lights flashed. The stars watched as humanity rose to meet the final challenge. They had survived the surprise. They had beaten the sickness. They had broken enemy lines. They had made friends. Now they were coming for peace, but on their own terms. They would not stop until the war was done. The human fleet reached the Virex homeworld. The planet was dark and cold. Rings of metal and rocks circled it. Thousands of Virex ships stood ready. They were waiting. The final battle had begun. Commander Ian Blake sent the message. "All ships begin attack." Lights filled the sky. Earth's ships flew in lines, fast and sharp. Virex ships fired first. Lasers crossed space. Explosions lit the dark. Derek Shaw flew through the middle of it all. His ship moved like a blade. Behind him, Mia watched the radar. "Incoming at 5 o'clock, she said. Derek spun the ship. He fired. A Virex fighter burst into fire. "That was close," Mia said. "We're not done yet," Derek replied. On the ground below, Earth dropped shield breakers. These machines opened holes in the Virex defenses. Then ground teams moved in. Soldiers from Earth, Mars, the Moon, and allies landed. Colonel Ava Briggs led the main group. She walked through fire and smoke. "Hold the line, push forward," she shouted. The Virex fought hard, but Earth's soldiers used better moves, better tools. They didn't waste shots, they worked as one. At the same time, Carla Lane sent a digital wave. It disabled Virex control systems. Their main towers went dark. Their ships stopped moving. The battle turned fast. General Ethan Ward gave the order. "Take the command center, but do not kill if they surrender." Inside the Virex base, a team broke through the last door. Virex leaders stood still. One of them stepped forward. "Why did you not fear us?" he asked. Captain Lily Monroe answered, "Because we remember, and we prepared." The Virex commander looked around. His people were tired. They had lost ships, bases, power. He lowered his head. "We surrender. The war was over." Earth did not destroy the Virex. They helped rebuild what was broken. They gave food to Virex children. They fixed water lines and power grids. A new treaty was written. This time, Earth wrote the rules. No more hidden weapons. No more attacks. Every planet had a right to peace. The Virex signed it. So did the new allies. On Earth, people filled the streets. They danced. They sang. Flags waved in the wind. President Alina Shaw stood in front of the world. We did not win with hate. We won with heart, with unity, with strength. Now we build a better future. Children in every city watched the speech. They drew stars and ships. They dreamed of peace. On the moon, Ava looked up at Earth. It was hard. But we stood strong. We stayed true. In space, Derek sat in his ship. He looked at the quiet stars. "We earned this," he said. In the lab, Carla and Noah updated the system. He kept the defense net active but set it to rest mode. "Just in case," Noah said. "Let's hope we never need it again," Carla replied. Commander Blake watched the new map. No red marks. It's only green. "For now, the sky is clear," he said. The war had tested them. The truce had been broken. But humans had shown who they truly were. They were not afraid, were strong, they were united, and now they had peace. On their own terms,